I think you'd have to be Nostradamus to know what's going to happen in 2012. I think what we're preparing for is volatility. Is this another 2008? I think pertinent to the energy sector is that whilst the long-term trends and demands for commodities, natural resources, oil, gas are huge and therefore are driving huge growth and development in the sector, another serious global recession could bring things to a bit of a halt. So we are quietly trying to be as positive as possible, but I think preparing ourselves for quite a lot of volatility. I think actually we found this last time, when projects stop or a sector sort of freezes for a short period as finance dries up, talent, you've got to hold on to your talent, or you've got to stay in touch with your talent. Because as we found in 2008, 2009, 2008 things froze, but very quickly in the second half of 2009, credit started rolling into the energy sector. Companies were looking for people to make projects happen and to staff up their companies. So I think if you've let lots of people go, or if you don't know how to access them, the talent, you will be slow to get to the starting track. So our job, if there is another downturn, is very much to maintain real contact with the talent in the sector, so the sector can move very, very quickly if there is a huge upswing again. I think sometimes a number of sectors, particularly the natural resources sector, can operate on a sort of a stop-go. If that happens again, which it certainly did in 2008, 2009, firms such as ours will need to be ready to ensure that the talent doesn't leave the industry and can be readily redeployed once things go back onto go again. By the way, they're on go very much at the moment, but we should wait and see what 2012 brings. I mean, I think it should be one of your top priorities. I think sometimes it's very easy to say that. The CEO will have a huge in-tray, huge challenges maybe around financing, but if you can't get the people, if you can't get the expertise, you're not going to get the projects to happen. So I think you need to take a strategic view. You need to be looking at the talent you've got in your organisation and seeing how you develop it and communicate that to your team, that they've got a real future and that there is a real development plan. And this is where we, or I, the CEO or HR, are going to see you going. I think if you're in real growth mode, you need to, and this is a bit of a plug for Korn, Ferry or the other providers, you need to have a partner, not just on a one-off relationship, but a partner that can help you identify and unlock all the sources of the talent. For the industry as a whole, there's a talent crunch coming. Those 10, 15 years in the 80s and the 90s when the industry didn't recruit as many graduates, that is leading to a shortfall of seasoned leaders in the sector. So the industry needs to be trying to really strongly encouraging new entrants and graduates to come into the sector because they will be needed. I think the industry as a whole has got to know that the long-term trends are for growth, that the world hasn't yet found an alternative to the resources that we use today to power our globe, and that it needs the people in the industry to come through. So it needs to be encouraging graduates to come in, sponsoring programs in universities. It could well be looking at encouraging a lot of technical graduates or technical skilled people that are qualified in engineering who went into banking and now maybe looking for alternative careers, and then to be skillful and deft in training people up to do the kind of leadership tasks in the industry. Because it is clear that a lot of talented engineering graduates and science graduates did go into investment banking or have done in the last 10 years. I mean, the oil industry offers as the mining sector offers actually quite a good, lucrative alternative. So I think the sector needs to try, if you are thinking as you have to have your eyes on the short-term challenges of finance and financing the project, what the global market's doing. But if you're a CEO of an energy company and you want to have a future, you've got to be keeping a long-term strategic view on the talent pipeline as well as the project pipeline. And it's something certainly the Oil Council, members of the Oil Council can be looking at. How do we attract people to the industry? How do we retain people to the industry? How do we have a pipeline for the next, in 20 years' time, the industry doesn't make the same mistakes it made in the 90s.